Look at this book. Published in 1532, Niccolò Machiavelli's The Prince operates as a cold-blooded instruction manual for power. It ignores moral theory to focus entirely on the mechanics of acquiring and holding on to territory. If you simply inherited the throne, what Machiavelli calls a hereditary principality, the job is largely a matter of maintenance. As long as you don't violate ancestral customs, historical inertia keeps you in power. Conquering a new territory as an outsider is different. You are disrupting an existing system, and the people whose lives you've upended will instinctively resist, often hoping that a change in leadership will improve their own situation. You find yourself trapped between two forces. You have made enemies of everyone you injured to take the throne, yet you cannot satisfy the expectations of the friends who helped you seize it. Surviving a hostile vacuum and forging an impenetrable rule requires a specific type of calculated aggression that inherited power never has to learn. Once the territory is yours, the priority is stabilization. This map of 16th century Italy reveals a fragmented landscape. Rulers instinctively flood the area with military garrisons. Machiavelli warns this drains the treasury and disrupts daily life, creating resentment. The smarter route is establishing colonies, settling loyal citizens in strategic locations. You displace only a small minority, leaving the rest unbothered. Then protect weaker neighbors to win favor, and undermine powerful foreign rivals to secure your borders. Territorial security is a matter of surgical control. By minimizing widespread disruption, you prevent the mass resentment that leads to rebellion. With the territory secure, you need an army to defend it. Many rulers try to outsource their defense by hiring mercenaries or using foreign auxiliaries. These soldiers have no tie to the state beyond a paycheck, making them disunited and disloyal. Because a mercenary's only motivation is money, they have no reason to die for you. In an actual battle, they often break formation and flee. If the mercenaries are skilled enough to win the war, they become an even greater threat. Their success feeds their ambition, and they will eventually turn their weapons on you to take the state for themselves. Machiavelli argues that a ruler must rely entirely on their own forces. This means arming and training your own subjects, creating a military that has a personal stake in the survival of your rule. Sovereign authority requires absolute self-reliance. If you continually depend on the strength of others, you have already lost your independence. Securing the borders and the army is only half the battle. A leader must still navigate the internal mechanics of psychological control. This leads to a difficult choice. Is it better to be loved or to be feared? Love is an unreliable foundation. Human nature is fickle. Loyal subjects in easy times will abandon you the moment they face danger. Fear is a more stable tool. The dread of punishment creates a constant psychological pressure that keeps subjects aligned, even in times of crisis. However, there is a limit. A leader must be feared, but they must never become hated. Hatred is the primary driver of assassination and coup attempts. To avoid hatred, a ruler must respect the property and the families of their subjects. If violence is necessary, it should be delivered in a single decisive stroke, rather than as a series of prolonged daily injuries. Effective leadership requires commanding respect through predictable boundaries and a credible, well-managed threat of force. The 16th century principles of conquest and consolidation have survived into the present day. These mechanics apply to any high-stakes environment where power is seized. We see this in corporate boardrooms during a hostile takeover. An incoming CEO faces the same new prince dilemma as a Renaissance duke. An effective CEO uses Machiavelli's swift cruelty by executing one decisive round of layoffs immediately rather than letting uncertainty linger. They then establish colonies by placing loyal executives in key departments to ensure total alignment. By focusing disruption into a single moment, the CEO prevents the slow burn hatred that destroys productivity. The company stabilizes, the new hierarchy is accepted, and the organization continues to function. Machiavelli provides a blueprint for survival. Protecting an organization requires the courage to interact with the world as it exists, rather than in theory.